Tensions in the Middle East continue to grow. This after we've learned that Iran has attacked American military bases. Let's get the latest. Let's bring in Reggie Cicchini now from Washington. So Reggie, the world and certainly the United States bracing for some form of retaliation. It appears that has happened. Hearing of strikes in Qatar as well as Iraq. What more do we know?
Right, Anthony, we understand at least from the Iranian government and from Iranian state TV that this was a tit-for-tat attack. In that Iran has fired the same number of missiles towards these two countries as the United States used in its attack on nuclear infrastructure over the weekend. We understand from some of the video that's come out that air defense systems throughout Qatar were activated to try and minimize any kind of response here. We also heard from the Qatari government that because they are a host nation, that they feel that this was an attack on a sovereign nation and therefore they have a chance to respond. So we're immediately seeing an opportunity for this to become a far more regional war. It is worth pointing out that in recent days, the United States military moved much of its infrastructure and its assets out of this largest military base in Doha, including some 40 different pieces of aircraft at limited access as well. An effort here to try and keep secure some of the military assets that exist in the area here, allowing for Iran potentially to say, look, we weren't going to cause much damage here, but we were able to respond. This is now going to be something that the White House watches closely. We know Donald Trump was meeting with his national security team through the afternoon. There was also a meeting of defense officials inside the Situation Room. But obviously, this is a new escalation here because the United States very clearly said after Israel began its initial attacks here that if an attack was made on an American base, that there would be additional response.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit in terms of what prompted this in the first place, and that is the strikes against Iran from the United States. In terms of the damage at the nuclear facilities, what have we learned?
It's difficult to know. We heard from the president and from allies of the president over the weekend saying that this was an obliteration of Iran's nuclear facilities at these three different sites throughout the country. It was a different assessment coming from the Israelis themselves and from the UN nuclear watchdog that says that there is significant damage. And obviously there's a big difference here between significant damage and obliteration, because significant means that there is an opportunity here for work to possibly continue or for things to be rebuilt. There is also an unknown here, Anthony, as to what happened to the nearly 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium at one of the sites here. There is a concern that because Donald Trump was kind of publicly posting that the threat existed for an attack on social media, the Iranians may have been able to move some of this uranium elsewhere, and if it wasn't impacted, that gives them another leg up in a game, despite the fact that they have been experiencing setbacks. So what we have right now, at least, is a response on the Americans for their response on Iran, and this is going to be a question. The Pentagon over the weekend said that this is not an open-ended attack, but with things now escalating, this is a question of whether or not there will be another page turned here and something else happens.
Okay, we appreciate the update, Reggie. Thank you so much. Reggie Cicchini joins us from Washington. Thanks again, sir.